I know there's a forced draw here. There's some sort of draw. Yes, that's it. And Hikaru's going for it. And he's forgotten about it, I think.
Yeah. This was from Lev Albert's Perk Alert, that book from way back in the day. I had that book. I played this opening from black. And the point is bishop f2 check, king d2, bishop e3 is a forced draw if you take the queen on d8.
Now, white has the possibility of playing knight b5. Hikaru's not going to dip his toes into that toxic pool. He's going to accept the draw. A great result for Magnus.
But he's not going to accept it until he spends the rest of his time.
I've forgotten again.
Yes. So Hikaru's clock is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He's going to take it down all the way to a couple seconds, and then he's going to play king d2 and king e1 back. Black has no choice. You've given up your queen. And so you have to play this forcing sequence of bishop e3 check and bishop f2 check.
And both players going to sit back. Magnus with a bit of a smirk on his face. But at this point, plenty of time. There will be 12 minutes left. That's at least 2 games, probably 3 more games. And if Magnus can keep putting the kind of pressure he's been able to do with the white pieces, Robert, he could get this lead down to 2 or maybe even 1 if he continues to play well.
Look at Magnus. I mean, he's probably just annoyed right now. But there's a lot of good news here for Magnus, right? When this is happening, you can compose yourself. Get ready to have the white pieces. He did just win a game, so he should be feeling better about his chances. And he actually did just smile for the first time in hours.
And maybe in days. He didn't seem to be in the best of spirits after his previous match. He expects perfection from himself. He can't be happy with the way he's playing, but he's definitely happy there's time left on the clock. Hikaru making one more move, and now he's going to wait again.
He's not waiting. He's thinking.
He's contemplating, choosing candidate moves. King d3 here is a tempting move that needs to be calculated, wouldn't you say?
Illegal moves, sorry, unfortunately, can't be done. So yes, this is a forced sequence. The bishop on the light squares, cut you. And so this is a known forced draw. Unfortunately, it was forgotten by Hikaru heading to this game. So that makes Magnus's opening choice look pretty brilliant.
And that's another thing. You mentioned, what are you doing during this break other than crossing your arms and sipping water and smiling? You're thinking, if you're Magnus Carlsen, about what you want to do in the next game. You're reviewing your files in your head. And I know that sounds crazy, but these players have so much going on in their head. These extra 2 minutes, as you said, it allows Magnus to compose himself and make an informed choice about his opening in the next game, which if I had to predict, I'd say he's likely to repeat that A3 shenanigans that we've seen him play thus far.
The same holds true for Hikaru, though, because he could spend this time thinking about how to play as black. So that's exactly what he is thinking about, is the next game, the next opening, what he should do. And, well, this game is about to be a draw as soon as King E1 is played. And
don't lose on time.
There we go.
And Hikaru has only 2 of them at the moment. Bishop d3 forces the knight off the board and ends the game. Hikaru's not going to resign, though. He's going to get every possible second off the match clock.
Right, he should. There's no reason to resign if you're Hikaru Nakamura. You should waste the match clock.
And it's not, we've seen crazier things happen. I don't think Magnus is giving this game away, but with 9 seconds, hey, it's chess. And e5 is a great move.
Yes,
shattering Black's pawn cover.
Magnus could take on f6 with the queen. He could take and get e6. That was a big moment there. Because if he took on f6, Danya, at any point, Black would have 2 pawns, passers against a rook. So
then it's a 3-result game again.
This was accurate play there by Magnus. He trades the queens at the right moment. He gets a new one, and Hikaru's going to continue trying to waste a little bit more time.
And he's going to do it. It's not mate just yet. It's going to take a couple more moves. A ring around the rosy. And there it is. Mate on the next move. Well, King F2 still.
Queen E2 is mate.
Okay. He has been winning endgames like this throughout the whole SCC, and they're repeating this again.
Yeah, Hikaru keeps going back to this line, which seems to be more or less a forced draw. I mean, Magnus has never been in any trouble, but look at the clock situation. 3 minutes in change for Hikaru, 3 minutes of change on the match clock. So if Hikaru does nothing, this will be the last game of the 3+1, and he will retain a 2-point lead.
And he went for this at the start of the 3-minute portion. I didn't like it. He goes for this now. I do like it because a 2-point lead is still significant for Hikaru going into the bullet. And clearly he's found an improvement during the break. A4 rather than what he was doing previously, which is to prepare C4. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it at least gives us something new to talk about. But I don't think that there's much going on. Now, you have to be very careful if you're black because A takes B5, A takes B5. Rook A6 is a huge threat because you're removing the defender of the knight on D5, and the geometry is such that you could lose all your pieces as black if the C6 pawn falls. So Magnus has to be careful, and Hikaru, he just switching a little something here.
And a professional approach by Magnus. He takes as long as it takes to find what was the only move to maintain the balance. I checked. And now you are just in time. AB, rook a6. The rook captures on b2, but more importantly, it forces the bishop off of this diagonal. Hikaru basically has to bail out with bishop takes d5 check. This game, I'm quite confident is going to end in a draw. Just look at Magnus's body language. He feels satisfied and confident. He seems as engaged as he's been all match.
Any unnecessary risk. I know you're probably displeased that you had a 4-point lead. Now it's down to 2, and you're playing Magnus Carlsen, who can beat anybody at any time, right? Once he turns on the jets, he may never look back. But if you're Hikaru, look what he's doing. He's just going to spend a lot of time. He's probably going to simplify, make the draw, and then go into bullet with the lead.
Both players have to take a breath. As experienced as they are, there's going to be a lot of jitters to go around in the bullet segment. He does take b5. How exactly do we bail out without losing a pawn here? Because rook takes b2, Robert. And after rook b3, don't go rook d3 and allow b4. Move your king or move your f pawn. And this is a draw.
Dead draw. Rook takes b5. We just have king, rook, and 2 against king, rook, and 2. There's 1 minute remaining in this time control.
Yeah.
But there's no way Hikaru is going to let another game be played in 3+1.
It would be absurd to not milk the rest of this clock down, given how Magnus has played with the white pieces, and avoid a repetition if you're Hikaru, or get a repetition going, do what he's done previously, which is to sit and then repeat for the 3rd time once his clock is down.
Oh, I thought
that's what he's going to do.
I thought you would say do what he did previously and win a rook again, like he did against Nihal Sarn.
We had almost this exact structure. He was on the black side of it, and Nihal got himself skewered. I will never forget that moment from that match.
Wow, we are going to have a 2-point lead for Hikaru Nakamura. Now, if before the match you said, Hikaru, you'll be up by 2 points going to bullet, he said, of course, give me that lead. But I feel like right now he has to feel a bit disappointed. It's hard to put losses out the window, especially when they're recent, because if we just look at the last bunch of games, it is Magnus Carlsen who's been on a bit of a winning.
Hikaru's doing. He's just playing instantly. He's trying to bleed this out. He's got 40 more seconds. He needs to burn.
He's losing. He's lost. His position.
But does he have enough time?
Oh my gosh, Magnus has to show off the mouse speed right now because this is a winning position for white. He is winning a second pawn just like Hikaru did in a previous game.
Magnus cannot afford to waste a single second. This could be over if Hikaru can bleed another minute off the match clock. Here we go.
1 minute, 10 seconds. Every second counts. King H6.
He's going to win.
G5, Rook F6.
G5. Rook F6 and King G7.
G7, it's winning. Oh my gosh.
No, but Hikaru, he has 15 more seconds. He needs to bleed.
15 seconds. King F8.
King F8. Move. If you're Magnus, Hikaru's going to make it happen. Isn't he?
G5.
Oh.
Rook F4.
Move.
Oh my gosh, do the ladder. Queen.
D8 Queen. No, he doesn't have enough time. Hikaru made it.
It's over.
No, that's it. It's over.
You see, Hikaru recognized it. He wins the Speed Chess Championship. Magnus gives a little bit of clap for Hikaru Nakamura. But what a performance from the American superstar. He has won the Fisher Random World Championship this year. He's winning Title Tuesday pretty much twice every single Tuesday. And now he has taken the Speed Chess Championship. That is your streamer. That is your SCC winner of 2022.
Fans aren't happy when Hikaru bleeds out the clock, when he waits a minute to resign. Guess what? Every second that he bled out, this is the 3-second difference right here and right now. Hikaru Nakamura, how did he do that? He was losing for like 40 moves, and he somehow built up enough time to bleed it out. He has won the match. Unbelievable.
He has, and you see jubilation on his face, relief. I mean, they have so much respect for one another. And as I said earlier, Hikaru Nakamura just defeated Magnus Carlsen in 3 hours.
F8, E7, knight E6, and rook G8 forces the rook away from E8. That's what we're missing. That's the cherry on top.
That's exciting.
And I think we're going to see it. I think the gods are going to grant us a rook sack at the end.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nope. Well, it was impossible because of knight takes F6, actually.
I think knight takes F6, and, well, I was actually starting to think of, the gamesmanship in Hikaru, because why else would he be playing this on, right?
He's already playing the clock, and with 10 minutes left in the 3-minute portion, I think you're at that threshold where every minute starts to become important. And I actually think Hikaru wants to get into the bullet ASAP.
Yeah, I'm just going to point out here, bishop takes c5. Terrible, terrible mistake. Rook takes c5. Keep the king cut off. Now, Magnus, you got to preserve the seconds here. What are we talking about?
Maybe avoid stalemating with a queen a7. Queen e8 mate is coming up, and Hikaru has gotten to the point where he is checkmated in 2 moves. He can still go king f1. So he does have a safe move, and he's going to take a solid 90 seconds off the match clock with this gamesmanship, as you called it.
And look, say what you want about it, but this is the precise thing that got Hikaru the win last time. Right? So, I mean, and it was so literally the fact that he had done this earlier in the match that, you know, later on in the bullet segment, when it came down to 1 win, it was like 2 seconds. Remember? 2 seconds that he had taken off the clock earlier, and that's why he won.
And I'm going to be dead honest with you, man. This is what I truly think. Hikaru, in the past, he's had some questionable antics. You know, he sometimes gets emotional after losses. But this, milking the clock when you're up on the match and you want to get to your best segment as quickly as possible, is a completely legitimate strategy. He's maximizing his chances of victory. And what do we truly want from the